好，各位午安，我们现在进入下一个阶段，我又受命要来做这个主持人。Thank you for participating the panel this afternoon. So now we invite 5 speakers from different parts of the world. Actually, the farthest is from Brazil. Welcome. So now we probably every speaker has 10 minutes to introduce themselves and their corporation. Then we we open the forum, and then we have more discussion. So first, I would like to invite Tammy. So can you have 10 minutes for introduce what you have done? Thank you.
Thank you. 谢谢老师。大家好。My name is Tammy. I'm the co-founder of Domi, and I'm also the co-founder of B Lab Taiwan. 那今天真的很高兴看到在场的各位。在场的各位来台中，谢谢，来台中来支持这个 B 型企业运动。那感动我的是什么？第一，Domi在3年前成为台湾第一个拿到 B 型企业认证的公司。在那个时候，我们完全不了解，也查不到任何资讯关于说到底 B 型企业运动是什么。3年后的今天，在场有超过400位的企业伙伴跟各个伙伴们来加入我们一起，世界各地的伙伴来加入我们一起推动，所以我很感动的是这个点。那第二，我今天更想要谢谢在底下的2位，过去10几年一直是我生活跟事业上最重要的 mentor Bob 跟 Tammy。我想要在台上谢谢2位。Thank you。那好，所以我就像刚刚介绍了 ，Domi 是我们在5年前成立的公司。那 We are a B Corp, and what we do is we make the earth happier. 我呢，过去20年在英国跟在北京工作跟生活，直到5年前回来台湾。回来的原因很简单。在北京，我受不了那样的空气污染对我的小孩，所以我回来台湾以后，发觉到，空气污染跟环境这个议题，怎么台湾也这么严重？在这个环境里头，到底为什么以前的我不是没有听过，怎么从来没有思考说我可以做什么？那我就在想，我也不是 NGO 组织，我也不是环境组织，我更不是这个专业的领域的背景。过去我都是在从事商业，我懂的就是 business. That's all I do. At the same time, 对于我来讲，我是3个小朋友的妈妈，就让我开始思考说，我怎么样有机会让自己的公司、自己的事业，跟未来有机会让更多的企业去开始思考环境跟能源对于我们的关联。就如同刚刚老师说的。以前的我也不懂到底为什么空气污染也好，环境、气候暖化跟能源的关联在哪里。而当我开始进去研究之后，我就发觉说，哇，台湾99%我们都是仰赖外来的能源，我们怎么有办法在这样的情况下享受全世界少数倒数的几个便宜的电价而不自知？然后在此同时，其实我们并没有更多更好配套的renewable energy 的解套的方案在现在，所以一直让我去思考说，我怎么样可以用过去的经历，不管在 business 或是在媒体或是在 marketing， 去带动更多的企业来关注这个议题，然后愿意去行动。所以对于我来讲，我就在想 ，What can I do? What can I do to talk to 一般的家庭、企业、政府单位？以及学校跟 NGO 组织，这些过去都在各个领域里头不停的在做各自的岗位上与行动。那环境的议题不是没有很多的专家在研究，不是没有很多的环保团体在倡议。我怎么样有机会用我过去的经历来让大家，第一产生串联，愿意对话，更愿意开始一起行动。这就是 Domi 当时5年前我们设立最主要的目标。我们希望说，可以 以让这个议题变得简单，大家愿意开始愿意 care， 进而下一步行动。所以在过去呢，我就一直在跟各个的 stakeholder 利害关系人，希望企图串联起来，带动这个对话。我们做了双北市府的一些政府计划，期待的就是创造一些市府跟市民对话，关于能源跟环境这个议题对话的可能性跟空间。所以在去年度，我们在新北市推动了城市能源转型，民众应该怎么思考它的未来，这样的能源的对话的空间。那同样的，用政府参与式预算的这个概念带到企业里头去，让他们去思考，原来环境节能跟能源这个议题，它不该只是总务部的 issue， 怎么样在企业里头可以滚动起来，让各部门、跨部门愿意去对话而一起行动。所以我们做了很多的创意的推动跟实验。那更重要的就是我们把大量的一些能源的数据，用数据化的分析跟视觉化的方式去呈现，提供给县市政府未来可以做更好政策跟补助的一些参考跟判断。那同样的，关于能源教育，我们做的就是换一个方式，让它好玩，让它容易亲近，然后让大家会愿意去开始接触。所以我们办了很多的各种的儿童的环境能源教育，在过去。那针对企业呢，我们做什么？我就在想，企业重要的就是怎么帮他开源，怎么帮他节流。所以我们除了帮企业去规划它的节能的设备跟设施以外，很重要的，我更去带动企业内部的员工的家庭，以及甚至更进一步他的 supplier， 他的供应商。所以我们怎么样让这个过程当中可以让他的企业本身的 mission， 在这个过程当中可以一直去被贯穿到他的员工的家庭跟他的供应商。这也是刚可能的过程当中，大家有在外头看到东米在外面有很的市集里头有一些产品。对于我们来讲，我们就是希望说，怎么样从企业内部带动自己的公司的伙伴去关注这个议题，然后它可以很简单，可以很好玩，可以让爸爸妈妈回家跟小孩开始有互动，开启这个话题。那一样，我们同时开发了这套系统，希望协助更多的企业去协助引导公司内部的员工，看看现在自己对于环境跟能源的使用情况跟现况，以及接下来从公司的角度怎么样可以去引导大家更进一步对环境做出不一样的改变。那这套系统，待会我们也会谈到，我们在过去开始就跟了巴西、跟了澳洲的伙伴们一起在推动。那再来就是学校，一样就像我刚刚提到的，我们觉得说，其实要让大人节电真的很困难，有很多的说服工作要做。但同时更重要的是怎么样真的可以从教育的点去扎根。所以我们跟学校、跟各个单位就开始来做环境跟儿童的能源教育。我们走到校园里头去给孩子读故事，把节电这个议题变得好玩，把能源这个议题变得简单。那所以我常常在问自己说，东米到底是一个什么样的公司？东米到底是什么？因为台湾不缺乏最厉害的技术、最强的产品。那在这一端的一般消费者，包括我在内，为什么他很难去被串联起来，更愿意行动？这也是东米一直在努力的方向。怎么样可以成为中间那个桥梁跟 bridge， 把这个行动变得简单好玩？所以东米 focus 在专注在把一些的商业跟 technology 这个结合起来，然后让节能这个议题可以变得好玩，变得简单。那一样，我们希望说 empower 更多的企业跟一般家庭，怎么样用这样的工具，除了让自己行动以外，可以在过程当中领引自己身边的 community 社群，去愿意对环境做出一点点的改变跟贡献。那最后我想要分享就是，其实 东米在这个过程当中一直在做了很多很多的尝试跟努力，因为我们觉得其实环境跟能源这个议题，它听起来很大，但是最核心的，它不只是环境跟能源，它关心的是我们在场每一位现在跟我们孩子的未来。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Tammy。我想2-3年前认识 Tammy 跟 Corp 的时候，其实认识东米这个团体，其实我觉得非常非常很棒。我想，就我的理解，东米应该是台湾第一家跟能源有关的社会企业。好，那作为这样的一个先行者，其实刚刚在很多这几年我认识他们，其实从很多我们常常习以为常的这些方式，他们找到非常多有创意的方式，用一些 innovative 的一个方式来介绍能源，或是找到一些解放。我觉得非常重要是找到解放。所以我想刚刚非常谢谢 Tammy 的介绍，时间很有限，我想等一下会有一些机会来做一些更多的沟通。I think the panel is very unique because I think each corporation here they try to provide some solution to the problems. And the next speaker will be from Brazil. And Sergio, they say I think the common title is very interesting. The 60 plus. 他认为老人不是社会问题，其实老人其实是这些问题的解决者。所以我觉得他其实把我们很多概念其实做了一些很有趣的转换。所以我觉得我们今天其实在这里的 panel， 我觉得他们都不是把这些问题就直接视为我们过去在社会学里面看的社会问题，我们在这里都找到一些新的思考。好，我想我们把时间就交给。So now the turn to Sergio and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much for staying the whole day long. A lot of sessions. Yeah. Alive? Okay, you want to stand up a little bit? No? Okay. When I became a B Corp, and this happens to every B Corp, when you get certified, one thing that you have to do is to sign a certification of interdependence. So it's not that we are independent, but we are interdependent. And actually this panel shows about that. The graphs that Professor showed in the beginning, it's much linked to what I'm going to talk. So maybe someone may say, what is this guy doing there? He doesn't know anything about climate. I don't, okay? But what I have been working is about longevity. So Lab 60 Plus is a social lab that integrates now more than 800 organizations. So it's a movement inside the other movement, or aside, whatever. So we discuss what's the world that we need for a population that is getting older. So in every country we are living more and more and more, but we still have pretend that we don't, right? So if we take a look, there you go. So we used to call that a parameter, a demographic parameter. So in your left is Brazil 1980, in your right is Brazil now. So the yellow line is 60, around 60. So we still have the duality of young and senior and elder. Young, beauty, strong, working force. So the economists say the demographic window, every country who has a good demographic window, or a lot of young people and few seniors, it's good, right? Wrong. Because we won't have that anymore unless we put people to die. And we don't want that, right? We want to live longer. And that's the reality, and that's happening real fast. Brazil is the largest country that is going through this revolution. It's called longevity revolution. It's a silent revolution that is changing the way that we perceive society, but we haven't changed our attitudes. So we still think that the young is good and the senior is not that good. The senior should retire, right? Be a next something, and the youth should work or study, right? So what we understand is in every age we should understand our strength and our weakness, because in every age we have that. When we do understand that, we can put our best in service and receive what we need to supply our weakness. And if you understand that in every age we do that, in every time of our life we have that, so the seniors can provide and can receive something. And then we change the concept of aging. We still use a lot of aging population, active aging who's in the field, right? We prefer to use longevity. Why? Because we are not a fridge. Fridge gets old. It's a body, physical body, right? So a fridge that is 20-year-old, not good. A new fridge is good. Well, but we are not a fridge. Is there any fridge here? No. Great. We know, and this is recent, that we are more than this body. So there is a lot of studies about that. So emotional intelligence and all the intelligence, or we can go through the bodies, all the bodies, and the bodies don't get old, only the physical one. So maybe your creativity doesn't go down, can go up. Maybe your capacity to relate to the other doesn't go down if you don't go home, right? Retire is to go home and away from society, then everything just goes down. But if you get the benefits of a whole life of work, we're not going against that, please. But you will still stay in society with relationship, active in creativity. The other bodies, and I'm not going deep on that, because then we can go through religion and all that. I don't want that, all right? But all the other bodies, they can still develop. So what we need is to have this understanding. So a young person maybe is not that much developed on emotional side, right? The senior maybe. So there is a weakness from the young, and it's strength from the senior. So this is what we do. We reframe this concept. By doing that, we develop this movement, joining a lot of people and organizations together. It's a movement, why? Because we don't see this around. We have to change a lot of concepts that are around, right? So we need a movement, right? By doing that, we want to just to redefine what's longevity. So just to redefine how we face life, to live the present at its best with what I can give the best and understanding what I need. And if you go to the organization side, it's the same thing. Because organizations only have like the right answer, so I hire someone. Well, if everyone has its own strength, so I cannot hire someone. I have to find the matches, right? And then if you go to the countries, it's the same thing. So it's a much more network style. So that's why we work in a network, not in a hierarchical organization. So this great change, it's that I won't go through that, but there's a whole theory of change. And one good stuff that I will link here is how we get fulfillment to everyone. And we believe that to fulfill is you gotta be in relation to the others. So every month we get this we develop a technology, a social technology that is called Café com Vida. It is to different people, the diversity to meet, and by meeting I know what you need, and I know what I can supply, and then the network supply each other. And then seniors come, and then the young come, the company comes, the NGOs come, the government comes, everybody comes, and then new solutions appear. Solutions that we didn't know that would happen. A lot of things have happened, and people love that because it's really powerful. Because when I take out what I don't know how to do really well, but I couldn't tell, I give place, I open space to put my best only. Oops. So, as I told, incredible things happened. This is the challenge that the University of Stanford does every year for design. And last year, I asked some students just to apply for this design challenge. And it's a Stanford University, all that, prototypes and all. But with the network that we put together, in 2 weeks, they developed, the students that had never heard about longevity, young, 20 people, 10-year-old, with seniors, with people that work with longevity, they got together, in 2 weeks, they deployed, they were so happy that they just sent, but suddenly they won. Why did they won? They won because they made a chair that it was 1/10 of the price of market. So this is innovation. So actually what we're doing, it's a great innovation lab, and solutions we don't know how appear. But when you get diversity together, then solutions appear. Oops. So this is spreading the world. These are the names of the cities where we meet every month. Every month, people get together, it's for free, and people, nobody is my employee, it's a network, so there are 2-3 organizations in each of these cities, probably you don't know anyone, well, you know, Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Campinas maybe, so these are large cities spread through the country, and somebody know that we are doing, said, okay, I want to do that too, said, sure, do it, and then the network started to go. And so we have 7,000 people that have gone through these cafes, and 500,000 people that are connected. And by doing that, we went to another stage, which is a methodology how seniors can really go to a second half of their life that it starts in the 50s or 60s. Wow, yes, because you need to be fulfilled the whole life. Can be a paid job, can be a volunteer, but something that fulfills you. So that this technology, we work with universities, and then they deploy this technology. And by doing that, these 2 girls, 59 and 62, discovered after this process that they wanted to be entrepreneurs. This was an article that was in the main business magazine saying, wow, there's senior entrepreneurship. Sure, there is entrepreneurship the whole life. Why not? And especially when we get youth and seniors together. So what? Okay, internet, that's why we are here. Well, you won't see in any of those 17 ODSs longevity. I could be very sad. Gosh, it's a trouble. It's not. It's a solution. It's a solution. Let's get everybody into this solution. So what we have done is partnered with big Corps to open a space and create what we call professions of the future for seniors only. So let's get seniority. Let's get all those bodies that are continuing to develop and have gone through that process of empowering them. And by doing that, let's find new solutions for the ODS. These ODS, no, SDG here. Sorry, I'm saying in Portuguese. SDG. The SDGs are a great problem, and we don't have time, right? No, we don't have time for my talk, and we don't have time as a globe, right? So we cannot allow just the young, just the millennials to find a solution. Why? Let's invite everybody to the party or to solve the problem. right? So by doing that, we have developed already a new profession on education, how to improve education in Brazil. The first numbers that we have is that the students are more connected, that have worked with seniors, are more connected to their major that they have chosen in 78%. I mean, it's a result. So that's a better solution than the universities had to reconnect students with knowledge. By doing that, we develop another profession that is to minimize poverty. I won't go through that. And the newest one, each one we go with a different big corp. The newest one is, it's not a profession yet, it's a great challenge, which is climate change. So DOMI, as you have just seen, works really well with this subject and has partnered with schools, with a lot of stakeholders, and engaged students to them to dream together and then engage in this situation. And so they draw their dreams, the world of the future. But why? Why only the future belongs to the kids? The future belongs to everyone. So we've done in São Paulo 2 weeks ago, we got inspired, and the seniors are drawing how they see the world and how they can save the world by campaigning with DOMI. And then we go together with kids and youth and adults. So there's no need just to dream, we need action. So to need action, we need tools. So, we partner with DOMI. I don't know if what's written over there on the left, but should be interesting. And we are partnering, and the one student and one senior, one man, one woman, will go together and engage. This is kind of a game, a positive game on how we can change little attitudes. Because the first presentation is really interesting, but it's kind of far away. This discussion is still. Paris Agreement. No, we want to do the Taichung Agreement. The Taichung Agreement is not governments, it's not large governments, it's us. Everybody has to change their attitude in any age. And that's what we want. That's the invitation. And we cannot just do in 2 companies, we need more. And then we went here. Who has the voice? Who has the media? And then we partnered. Okay, but we're so distant. No, we are the same. So we have helped DOMI to translate into 2 different languages the apps, in Portuguese and English. And then we are deploying this in our countries too. So we are 3 big corps in 3 different industries. Maybe we don't have anything to do. No. We are in 3 different countries, in 3 different continents. 3 different languages, Portuguese, Chinese, English. But actually we have a common concern, common values. And actually we are all big corporate, and that's how the community works together. And we want a diverse community because our strength comes out our difference. Since we understand that we should go together. Because we're people. So that's why this starts with people, with us in this room, with our parents, with our grandparents, with our kids, with our family, our community, our company, our clients, our suppliers. That's our power. So we cannot stop only with 3. We want to go global. We want at least 60 cities, the most challenged cities, with this concern about pollution, about carbon footprint. How do we do that? Okay, let's go with the B Corps, but not only the B Corps. And not just one B Corp in each city. No, let's get every B Corp. So that's the great invitation. So that's how we get interconnected as people and as the key challenge of humanity. So there are 17, but they're not 17. They're just one. They're our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio, for your wonderful presentation and introduction. I think you've done a wonderful job to try to turn the reframe our aging society thinking to turn this kind of a challenge into the new business opportunity. So, and now it's linked to 60 countries? Already linked to 60 countries?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a warm rate, right? You have already, this will spread. Or do you idea?
No, Lab 60 Plus, it was only in Brazil. Right. Now it's in Taiwan.
Oh, Russia. I got it.
Actually, we are going after the campaign. The campaign we want to take to the 60 countries.
Oh, wonderful.
60 cities.
Okay, thank you.
The most energy-consuming cities in the world. We want to bring that.
Okay, good. Okay, so now turn to the next speaker. Is Marianne is from Australia. Okay, so he is the chairperson and founder of the B Lab. So we now have you 10 minutes to introduce what you have done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today, hello, how's it? It's a bit better. Thank you. So in addition to working with B Lab, I also, for the last few years, have run a magazine called Dumbo Feather. This is the magazine. And just briefly, we are an independent publication. We come out quarterly. So we have 4 every year, and we've been around for 12 years. And generally what we do with the magazine is that we interview inspiring people who are living with passion and purpose and who are making a very big impact in their community. So that's Dumbo Feather, and I'll come back to that in a second. But before I do, I want to ask a question to the audience. I want to ask you, how do you feel when you listen to Professor Lin's talk? What happens for you when you read about the global threats that are facing us? Just one person. Too far, nothing I can do. Scary, yeah. Yeah, it's overwhelming, right? I think for me, like many people, when I used to read what the experts said, I would feel completely paralyzed. And I think, it's funny, like Sergio, I sit here and I'm not a climate change expert, but what I want to talk to you about is how 3 non-experts got together to try to have a conversation about what we could do and a conversation around action. Because I read that Al Gore said, between denial and despair, there is action. And so as we sit in despair, what we actually need to do is act. And what I did in my transition from despair to action was to first think about connection and to think about, first of all, connecting to the facts and to the reality of what's happening in the world, because we see these facts and they're scary. We think about our children, we think about future generations, and we wonder what the world will look like for them. And this is, in reality, a very, very overwhelming and scary prospect, and in order to truly think about it, it's actually a feeling we have to experience. It's something we need to grieve. And so the first thing I did was really do that. I had some tears, did some crying. And then the next thing I did was to talk to people and to start a conversation. And the conversation that I started was with Sergio and Corey. So we were just three people having a conversation about something that we really cared about. And then we realized that we're also people who are running companies. So Corey and Tammy, they run Domi, and what they're doing is creating solutions to move us together towards a happy Earth, is their mission. And then Sergio, he comes forward and he tells us about his network of seniors that he's activating to solve societal and environmental problems and to really integrate into society, reframe the way we think about it. And then I looked at what we were doing, and I was realizing that what we're doing is actually trying to inspire people. And when we sat together and we had this conversation and we looked at what our mission statements were, at first they seemed like they're far apart, but after a little bit more conversation we realized we actually have a shared goal, a shared mission. Sorry. And then, if you can see here, this is actually a Skype call where Domi were having a white roof party. And what they were doing was painting the roof white. And you can see that Sergio and I are at the party virtually. And we started to just engage with each other's work and each other's communities, and engaging around each other's projects as well, because we realize when we help each other, we are moving towards our shared mission. And so, as Sergio said, we did some translation and localization work for the Domi app and Climate Stoplight, which we're very excited to start sending out to all our communities. I just can't get this right. And then what we decided to do at Dumbo Feather was to use one of our issues to actually focus on the issue of climate change. So we normally don't have a theme for our magazine, but in our last issue we did. We called it the climate change issue. And we interviewed 5 people who were, in whatever community they were, really taking important action for climate. And we decided to include something called the Climate Challenge. And this was an 8-week climate challenge. It's going on at the moment. And we were inspired by Corey and Sergio in the way we implemented it. But it's 8 weeks, which is really encouraging everybody to use their power and to remember that all of us have quite a lot of power as citizens, as people who run businesses, who work in businesses, as consumers. And so what I want to do now with the 3 minutes I have left is take you through some of the content that we created in this challenge. So the first week, the first 2 weeks, we talked about encouraging people to really start with themselves. Start with where you are. Think about how you feel about climate change. And then secondly, do an audit of your home or your office. And we recommend, of course, when you're doing the audit, you should use the Domi Climate Stoplight because it's easy, it's shareable. I've used it myself. It comes up with a very clear direction on what it is that you need to do to move from red to orange to green. Then the next thing we encourage people to do is to use your social power. So there are many groups that are working towards climate change mitigation, climate action, and these groups are around the world. There are groups that meet online, there are groups that meet locally, and I would just encourage everybody to go and connect into one of those groups. It's one of the best ways, I think, to overcome the despair and to actually realise there's a whole lot of action that's happening around you. The next thing in relation to social power as well is to have conversations. The conversations that are difficult to have in your family. I'm sure you all have people that when you go to those family dinners, events, birthdays, people tell you that you're stupid for trying to reduce the amount of plastic that you have in your house, or not necessarily, wanting to I suppose, use the plastic plates that they're giving you. And I think that it's hard to have those conversations, but it's actually really, really important. And there's research that shows that people, this is research for Australia, but people are just as likely to trust their friends and family when they tell them things as they are to trust a scientist. And I think that what we should actually do is use that power and start to have the conversation, start to change people's minds, because every time you do that, it really matters. The next thing is ourselves as citizens. So this idea of using your political power. Many of us live in countries where we have access to politicians. This morning the mayor was here, and many of us don't engage with them. And the more that you start the conversation with those representatives, the more that they will be starting the conversation on our behalf in the government, in the parliaments. So it really matters to write an email to your local politician, to go and knock on their door. And then finally, and this relates, of course, back to B Corps, it's this idea of us as consumers. The consumer power that we all have. And the first thing is related to this wonderful movement called Divest Invest. And what that asks us to do is to think carefully about where we have our money and whether those organisations who are holding our money for us, whether our banks, whether they are what they are investing in and whether they are doing things with your money that you want them to do. There's been a big movement of people who've been removing their money, people and organisations that have been removing their money from large institutional investors who are still investing and supporting fossil fuels. So I encourage you to ask the question where your money is, and then finally to support and build businesses that are part of the new economy, that are working with purpose, that are working with mission, some of which might even be working towards this mission of protecting and protecting our planet and creating a happy planet, in the words of Domi. So thank you for your time and attention.
For I think you share your experiences, your personal reflection about what I think you mentioned very important is action. So, and also the connecting, trying to bring this community, just like the forum. So probably we should have this kind of, really it's an annual forum. Try to bring the community from Thailand, from Indonesia, from Hong Kong, and from all the friends from globally or from Asia, trying to sit together, try to connect, share experience. I think, and do some action. Thank you for Melanie, your sharing the experience with us. So now we turn to the next speaker. I think very special. It's a local, but also from local. It's Da Ai, right? So we have Laurie Chen, Dr. Laurie Chen. So to introduce what they have done over the past few years. For us, you.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Laurie Chen from Da Ai Gan Keji. Please allow me to speak in Chinese, okay? 刚刚听了这么多的这个分享哈，我觉得I think the most important thing is love， 就是每一个人他们或者是每一个公司他们对这个地球的爱，对这个 planet 这个我们住的这个 Mother Earth 的爱，然后还有就是这个想要这个地球更好这样子一个慈悲心因为我是来自于佛教团体，中讲慈悲心但是虽然他不知道我们不感受，虽然我没有说自己是慈悲心，可是可以感受到那个想要解决问题，想要解决我们住四周环境的问题，或者是我们自己遇到的困难，或是刚好我们碰到的现在是世上要需要解决的这些难题，然后呢进一步的行动来去付出之后，你成立了公司，会感受就是一份爱。那刚刚听到这个介绍说我们是来自大爱感恩科技很多人听到大爱可能是慈济就是佛教团体那慈善团体，那跟这个企业有什么关系跟 Big Corp 有什么关系或者甚至说，那我们叫做大爱感恩科技，那跟科技又有什么关系我想这个就pointer， 我想就是要从我们的 story 开始讲起我们大爱感恩科技也有我们的故事那这个故事呢要推展到这个西元1990年的时候大家知道我们是来自于这个我们源自于慈济基金会正言法师这个主持一个慈济基金会那在当时呢这个25年前我们正言法师他去分享去演讲一场就是幸福讲座嘛那他经过一个这个市场这个早上的市场传统市场结束之后，大家都知道20几年台湾正面临这个垃圾大战的时期很多地方都掩埋场不够，或者是防范的不够，垃圾没有地方要收所以呢收拾这个市场收拾之后呢，垃圾满天飞有纸箱有塑胶袋到处飞。那正言法师呢他是一个宗教家，他也是一个慈善家。那他看到这个现象，他第一个想到就是要解决问题，他不是只是在那边空谈说我们要念佛拜拜，坐在那边不要动他不是这样，他想到的是我们要怎么让我们的人生更好。所以他想到的就是，所以他在演讲完之后呢，他就跟他说，可不可能用你鼓掌的双手来去做环保所以我们说 use your hands to do environmental protection work your clapping hands。Because 因为在这个场合，大家都听到这种很好的演讲，都很开心。可是听完之后呢，有没有人会有行动？不一定当下你可能很开心回到家，你可能又回到你的舒适圈，你可能也不想去做什么 do any further action。所以我们正言法师鼓励大家，是不是可以用你的鼓掌开始来做环保？那我们你也知道宗教的一个好处就是大家都很听话在宗教里面的信徒们都很听话所以我们慈济人就开始想说，上人这样我们正言法师这样讲，那我们就开始来成立环保站，开始在收集这个回收的保特瓶。回收的资源那不要因为在当时呢，台湾的资源回收的回收率非常的低大概有点不记得，大概只有20-30%或是30%左右而已。那这样子一句话开始呢，台湾成立了第一家、第二家，到现在已经有8000多个环保站了所以到了这个2003年的时候大家也知道，因为我们世界其实灾难不断，因为我们的这个气候变迁的问题，造成世界灾难不断。那慈济也因为有这样子的一个就是赈灾的行动，就是我们有一个国际赈灾的一个组织我们叫做 TIHA。这个国际赈灾组织到处去帮助这个需要复原的国家，可能给他资源就是灾难过后需要资源，就去做成立，就是收集物资成立。那这时候呢，我们就发现说，我们送出去了这么多的毛毯，很多都是来自于这个石油提炼的这聚酯，就是polyester 这样子的成分去做成的。那我们正言法师就，他很聪明，他就说，那我们环保站回收了这么多的保特瓶，它好像也是聚酯的成分做的就是 PET 有没有可能把回收的保特瓶做成纺织品的那我们这样就很环保。于是这样子一个提议出来呢。我们非常听话的这个我们称为这个佛弟子就是我们现在董事长，他是企业界里面在纺织界非常 就是一个前辈哈，那他就开始号召，你看我们的行动力有没有很强啊哈？就开始号召纺织界的上中下游业者，开始来思考怎么样把回收的保特瓶做成毛毯。那这个技术不是我们发明的，因为这技术已经很成熟，已经是有人发明了，但是没办法市场化、经济化，因为它的这个成本过高啊。但是呢，大家知道，其实如果你想解决问题，你是真的用心想解决的话，它一定可以被解决。但是如果你只是为了要 for business purpose， 你只是为了想赚钱，那你这个技术永远不会做出来。为什么？你没有那种热情，没有那股想要解决问题的那样子的决心，你可能就没办法达成。是因为我们想要解决这个环境问题，想要达成上人给我们的一个任务啊，我们就完成了。所以呢，在这个2006年的时候呢，我们就成功的把它的这个做出一个具有经济价值的这个回收保特瓶做成的毛毯，然后呢开始量产送到全世界去，帮助需要帮助的人。那因为这样子一念，就是以上人的一个用组长的双手做饭嘛，开始呢我们就开始做出这样的一个 product。那这个 product 就很可惜啊，如果今天只是一个这个制成做出来之后，只是做成毛毯，那是不是这样子的一个这么好？就是说，对我们来讲，其实是一个这么好的技术，一个这么可以，这个非常非常好的一个故事，来可以去推行这种环保的制成的这样子的一件事情，能不能被流传下来呢？于是我们这个就是这几个企业家就是组成这个 TIHA 这几个企业家就开始想说，我们是不是来成立一家公司，把这个技术留下来，甚至做成产品，然后呢，告诉用产品来去跟大家推广这个环保。于是呢，我们就在2008年的时候成立了大爱感恩科技这家公司所以呢，不要认为说，大爱感恩科技好像是慈善团体，不是啊。我们其实是由企业家捐资成立之后，那在2年后，在2008年的时候呢，在成立之后，在2001年的时候，再把这个资本额全数捐回给慈济基金会，所以我们算是一个企业，可是我们是一个社会企业。所以我们虽然做产品、卖产品、行销推广我们都要做，但是呢，我们最后的这个盈余全部回捐给慈济基金会去做慈善公益之友。所以呢，大家刚刚有没有看到我们的摊位大爱感恩科技的摊位我们全部里面的成品都是由回收的保特瓶在做的那大家会问说100%吗？刚刚真的好多人在问我们，100% from recycled plastic bottle？ part of yes, but at least 50%， 至少一定有50% 以上。我们诚真信实那为什么一定50% 以上呢？就是一个信念。我们不是为了要说，我今天做出来就开始卖赚钱，不是，因为我们要维持我们做环境，做这样子一个环保的 purpose， 而且很重要的，我们这家公司成立的一个目的不是为了说我要去做出什么样子的绩效，要达到多好的这样子的成绩，而是为了做环境教育。因为上来很怕我们被人家讲话，你知道前几年有一点实际的误解事件我们讲误解事件很怕被人家说，我们这个公司怎样，所以呢，他一直强调我们耳提面命说，你们一定做的东西一定是要帮助人的产品，而不是做一些为了赶流行，然后呢，因为有时候你知道，设计师设计产品为了要能够卖想破头我们不是靠捐款，我们要自己盈利所以我们一定要做出一个好的产品，人家才会愿意买不是说看在你们很环保份上支持你们一下，那样子不可能有序，所以我们一定要做好的产品所以呢但是呢，我们却希望我们做出来的产品是可以达到环境教育意义，所以我们到处去跟人家分享环保的制成以及环保的设计概念，以及为什么我们可以做到50% 以上的这样子的纯度的回收再制的产品其实这些都是什么？都是技术那只有需要靠一个好的技术，好的创意，才能够把这个环境继续下去。那再下来就是讲到我们做环境教育的这个意义其实很重要一点，就是说要把我们中间的故事传递出去。因为刚才讲了那么多，我觉得最重要一点就是被 touch 的我们讲做社会企业，就是你要 touch， 你要让人家觉得感动，你要感动人家会支持才会内化才会行动你没有这样子一个过程，你不能够深入，不能够把像我们想要做环境教育这个意义推出去。因为我去上环境教育课程，我发现 环境教育不是为了说做产品不是只是会讲制程还会教育啊，教育跟那个有时候跟环境只是概念是不一样的。可是我时间到了，好，那 OK， 讲太慢了。那所以呢，我们才需要去把这个故事讲出去哈，因为我们没有自己的工厂，我们的产品全部都是靠我们的协力厂商出去。怎么样让我们协力厂商愿意帮我们制造一个很难做这种环保产品呢？就是靠感动他们，让他们愿意加入我们，这样让更多的厂商加入这个环保的这个制成行列了哈。那最后呢，我们刚刚提到我们盈利环境回馈，顺便工商时间一下，外面的我们的摊位哈，今天的盈余全部捐给我们的B 型企业这协会这边哈，来做我们推广 B 型企业机啊，所以请各位多多支持我们产品哈。好，对，时间不够了哈。那这边都知道了，我们就是这7年来总共累积已经回收了5亿只的保特瓶哈。可是每年只占全台湾的不到2% 哦，不要以为都被我们大家感恩回收来了哈。所以是保特瓶回收好，不用更好了哈。那再来。环境要永续哈，不是只是说我做到产品我来赶快卖就好了。好，我是代表大家感会的研发部，为什么由研发部我来呢？哈，因为我们最近呢想要做到环境永续，因为太多人拿了我们的产品说穿坏掉，或是他不要，他请我们回收，我们跟他说我们不能回收，这太丢脸了。所以我们现在已经研发出一个技术，就是可以把保特瓶做成产品之后呢，剩下的废料、废弃下脚料再回收做成了。直立又回收做成的纱线，再做成产品，成为一个recycle 哈。所以我们给它一个 brand name 叫做 recycle to recycle 的这样子的 R2R 的 brand name。所以呢，你看我手上拿的这个围巾，就是由废弃毛毯再回收做成的，是2次回收了的一个产品哈。所以我们这个目的就是要能够创新，你不创新，你没办法永续，你没办法永续，你就没有办法替环保尽一份心力哈。所以我们希望的是说，我们只是一个小小的种子，我们希望在台湾它不是只是一个卖产品的公司，我们希望是一个环保永续的一个种子，然后让告诉大家，只要你愿意，你就可以做出一个环境永续的东西，你可以让告诉更多人一起来加入。所以呢，还有没有时间？这就是我们现在的时尚产品，甚至太阳眼镜这个也是而且这是套镜，你遇到工商时间。你看我戴着眼镜，戴上去，我是不是看起来很时尚不要觉得说由回收再制的产品看起来就很 low 不会我这已经是第2次回收，我这个边框就是由废弃的毛毯又回收再制的2次产品。为什么？我们希望有好的设计跟好的制程来去说服消费者，你不是只是一次性的支持我们，你是要永续的，成为我们忠实的这个顾客，然后呢支持我们的产品。那这样子我们这个支持环保产品，我们环保永续的这个生命才能够延续下去。好，感恩支持大家。
谢谢 Lori 在介绍这个大爱感恩科技，我觉得非常amazing 其实，而且从一开始一个初衷一个善念想要处理，那刚刚前面3位在处理能源气候变迁不太一样，他处理是一个看起来也是好像大家觉得很吸收常常见到的回收的问题，它可是把这回收问题可以解决成创造新的产品跟商机，而且很时尚好，我想我们接下来now turn to the last speaker because we are running out of time. So we have Karyanto from Indonesia. You still have 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I have please? Thank you. Okay. I hope that this is the last presentation, right? I hope that it's going to be a boring presentation from the corporate because all of the presenters here are so great, especially the last one from the IE is really linked with what we are doing, what we produce actually, which is related to the plastic. Okay, so it's nice one. So keep it. Okay. Let me introduce myself. I'm Karyanto Wibowo. I'm the head of sustainability of Danone Indonesia. I don't know, maybe most of you don't know yet Danone. But actually it was during Corey's presentation this morning, actually I saw the movie of our company, which is Danone. Initially I didn't see it. I saw Unilever. I was so surprised why Unilever whilst I'm here. But anyway, there was a moment where our board of directors in Paris sharing about the partnership with Corp and Lab. So actually, to be honest, I'm really proud to be part of the company, to be part of Danone, which is really, the company that really committed on both economic and social initiative. So in end of December 2015, Danone signed a partnership with Lab to really push for the development or the movement of Lab, Corp to the multinational. And then just a few months ago, recently in the Consumer Goods Forum in Germany, our CEO Emmanuel Faber officially announced that basically Danone as a corporate, the whole will aim for B Corp certifications. So, and then now, because I'm from Indonesia, I work for Danone country business unit in Indonesia. We are one of the CPU, we call it CPU business unit, where we will get that certification by end of the year. So now we are in the process to do the self-assessment. And then basically in Danone, now there are already 3 business units already certified by B Corps. And then we expect there will be another 4 this year. So imagine, with this multinational company, with the size of our business, the impact that we have to the employee, to the all of the supply chain. We hope that we can bring a positive impact by having B Corp. All right. So then I will, because the topic is about circular economy, then I will share you on what we are doing on the circular economy. But before, I just want to share you who we are, Danone. Basically, we are a multinational company with a head office in France. We have 4 product categories. The first one, the biggest one is a dairy product, which is yogurt. And then the second one is, we call it early life nutrition or baby food, which is number 2 in the world. And then the third one is water divisions, water and beverages. And then the last one is the early, which is the advanced medical nutrition, which is tailored nutrition for the senior people. And then worldwide, we have more than 100,000 of employees in 56 countries. So Danone, why I'm so proud in Danone, basically this company has very solid missions, which is bringing healthful food to as many people as possible. So if you see the product range of Danone, basically all of them are really healthy food. And then we believe that healthy food has to begin with a healthy nature. Therefore, we really protect the environment, focusing on the 4 elements, which is on waters, on the packaging, on the CO2, and also on the sustainable agriculture, because we consume quite a lot of milk. And then this is also the commitment to the society, which is already mentioned by our founding father, Anton Ripu, in 1972, that the responsibility of the company cannot just end at the factory gate, but it has to be expanded to the community surrounding our factory. So now I go back to Indonesia, where I came from. Indonesia, we have 3 product categories, which is we have the beverage here, and then also we have the early life nutrition, and then also this one is the advanced medical nutrition. And then we really bring the same visions on this one. So this is on the profile. You see that I'm not going to talk about the share, but it is more on the impact of our business, which is on 15,000 of employees, 2 million people impacted indirectly by our business through the supply chain, and then we have about 1.5 million outlets where our product is being sold in Indonesia. This is, now I go to Aqua. I'm not going also to share many things here, but actually we are one of the we are the biggest, the beverage packaged water industry in Indonesia, 44 years already in Indonesia. And then the thing is that here we expect to be certified by B Corp by end of the year. So this is actually our product, all right? So we have the brand visions, which is to make the goodness from everyone, and then mission to be, to really provide a high quality water for the hydrations, and then for better life today and tomorrow. This is quite nice, but the thing is that what is happening in Indonesia, okay? This is the issue that we face for the time being. There are many issues in Indonesia, but I just want to pick four, which is first one is about waste. Indonesia, according to the research, is the second largest marine polluter in the world. But imagine, even now, Indonesia is still very low in terms of plastic consumption, only 17 kilo per capita per year versus US already 150 kilo per capita per year. We are already the second largest marine polluter. So imagine this one. And then the second one is what? Water. 1/3 of population in Indonesia has no access to water. And then also the carbon, which is government pledged 29 carbon reduction by 2030. So how we address this kind of challenge? To back to our business. We set already the ambitions to address this challenge, which is on 000, but here I put B because we are going to be a B Corp. So we have a B000, which is we aim for zero net by 2050, and then we have an ambition to be zero drop of oil. So means we are not going to use oil-based materials for our plastic, and zero waste to the landfill. So means we need to recover all plastic that we produce by 2030. And then we have the ambition also to be zero wastewater to the ecosystem, and as well as the zero or even positive water balance by 2030, which is aligned, we are trying to align with the SDG goal. Quick one on what we are doing so far. I mean, maybe this is not new in Taiwan or other developed country, but for us in Indonesia, for example, we are trying to push more on moving to renewable energy. This is one example in our factory, which is we put all of solar panel on top of the roof, and then we use alternative of oil. For example, we use coconut oil to replace the fossil, and then we are now doing our exploration for carbon offsetting to offset our carbon during the operations. On the plastic, we are moving toward the circular economy and packaging. Therefore, the presentation from DAI is very inspiring for us, because this is actually what we aim now and also in the future. First, increase the collection of our packaging. So imagine now we already collect about 12,000 tons every year our plastic, and then we need to push further. And then consumer behavior is very important. So there are many things that we do to really create education for the consumers on collection and recycling, and then promote on the second life of the packaging. Because, for example, now our packaging has already used recycled PET, which is we have the ambition 2020 to be 25%, 2025 to be 32%, and then of course we need to think also about open loop, because the plastic where it is really collected then becoming resources. This is really our belief. Therefore, several partnerships is now ongoing. For example, working with one big brand owner, like here I put H&M, to convert our plastic to become the fashions. And then of course, same like DAI, when we discuss with H&M, they also have the ambition to recover also the clothes. So it means recycle to recycle, that you mentioned is really something that is possible. And then the last one is more on water access. So this is the way that we do in our business to make sure that we will have the positive water balance. There are several initiatives that we do. For example, here we operate, and this is a mountain in Indonesia. This is one of the factory. This is our factory here. We need to make sure that internally we use water responsibly. Now, for example, our water ratio is about 1.19, so means every liters that we produce only require 1.19 liters. And then several initiatives here to really contribute on sustaining the water quantity and quality. And then also the water access, as I mentioned to you, contributing to the water challenge in Indonesia. Several initiatives that we do addressing the water access for the community. So working with partners now reaching more than 135,000 beneficiaries in Indonesia, and then we want to really push further by working with one of the NGO in US, the Water.org. So we push on innovative solution on microfinancing, working with the microfinancing institution to really provide access for the water credit to the community, where we as a company being a collateral for them to get access for the microfinancing. So we expect by having this kind of innovations, we should be able to reach more people in Indonesia. So that's all. So this is just to give you, but basically because we have 15,000 employees in terms of the B Corp movement, of course, we lead B Corp movement internally to really create the engagement with our 15,000 employees, as well as the externally, we are trying to invite others to join. We are becoming kind of a source of inspiration for the multinational to join the B Corp. Thank you.
Thank you, Karyanto. They showcase what they have done. I think it's a very big company in Indonesia. So it's a food and beverage company. They also can do a lot of work to do this, to follow the B Corp, this kind of standard. So now we only have about 5 minutes left. So I open the floor now and then for some questions. 只剩5分钟，还有5分钟，希望对今天蛮漫长，对。是不是要再丢这个？我们在1到2个question，我们同问同答，好，是吗？来，给我一起。好，好，这个丢不到那边，好，切起。好，这边传，可以传一下。哎，这边会不会丢过去吗？哎，这边有谁又帮忙？哎。
那麻烦大家就接力一下，我们传到后面的那位听众。
好，接力一下。
继续往后丢，没错，对，没错，感谢，加油。
丢过去。
哦，快到了，再一棒，再一棒，哎，到了。
Sorry about that. Hi, my name is Hillary.
The other way around.
The other side.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hi, my name is Hillary. Probably everyone can hear me, right?
No.
No. I will shout. My name is Hillary, and I used to work for the Big Corp that you just saw PwC Taiwan. The very first sustainable business solution business talk was created by me. And also I helped the first social enterprise get listed here in Taiwan for the G-Stock. And my question is that because all of you on the stage are doing the great work, and my question is, if you can use it to make the sentences, what would you like?
Sorry about shouting.
Just repeat.
Should I repeat myself again? Okay. My question is that because you are doing all the great things, if you can use it to make sentences, what would it be? Because we have a lot of SMEs sitting here, great future B Corp in the future, and also some students, young people, and seniors. And what kind of wish that you'd like to make in this room? It's like you are asking for help. So if you're using it to make sentences, what is your dream or your sentence would it be? For all of us, maybe we could do something together.
That's good. Okay. Thank you. So one more, or this is the last question? Okay. So where we want to work together. go first. Okay.
就是 make a wish 是吗？Well， 对于我来说 ，if I can get every company, everybody sitting in this room to stop working on climate stoplight。刚才看到那个能源环保红绿灯是我们开发的一套系统，最主要的目的就是希望大家开始关注 where we are now。以及接下来可以怎么更好。So I really hope that everyone in this room using this tool to get involved with yourself, your family, and your business employee. 谢谢。
It's a very good. Thank you for the question. Hi. Yes. So thank you for the question. It's very good. I mean, one thing that we work in the Lab 60 Plus is between this what I have that you don't, and what you do that I don't. And but we have 3 rules. First is not to always to be proposal. Second is always be positive, so we don't complain about what we don't have. And third is collective, act collectively. So how we can do together. So my only if would be to make this work. And to make this work for me is if we trust each other. If we trust each other, you put the best of you for the rest, and you really tell what the other, what you need. So if we have more rooms of trust, everybody can put its best on the table, and this is very difficult to achieve. I think we just have achieved these 3 working together from so far away, because we've spent some days together, knowing each other, and even though we have so many differences among ourselves, we believe that we could trust. So I think that's what we need most. If we have trust, we can do whatever.
It is such a good question, and it makes me pause and think really big, and I think also really deep. And then I think, because I suppose I go back to what I said, which is also about trust, but the difference is to trust yourself. So know that you have a lot of power that you bring to our collective, and use it, whether it's through using the DOMI climate stoplight, which is a really easy tool to use, or whether it's just connecting and trusting the person next to you with what your vision is. So, thanks for the question.
I think it 如果如果我们每一个人自己心中都在今天的这整个这么多的分享里面开始萌芽一个我想要这个行动来去支持社会企业，来去做社会企业，或者是来是去只是要把环保，就是要把对人好，就是说做好事这件事情付诸行动，那就从现在开始吧。好，谢谢，跟大家一起努力，谢谢。
I believe in the power of collaboration. So, things we can solve if we do it together. So we cannot do it alone. Even big corporations or even NGO or even academicians, activists. We cannot do it alone. We have to really work together because we can learn each other, we can give input, we can give feedback. Definitely with a positive mindset, we will achieve whatever the challenge that we face ahead. Thank you.
结束了。好，那今天其实非常感谢，其实5位从他们各自种不同的公司来 showcase 他们自己所创造出来的不同的模式。但我想非常重要，就是说你必须重新，我想刚前面提到开始行动，而且很多从原来的这些可能传统的问题或挑战里面找到新的可能的机会，去 reframe 这些 thinking， 就重新再一次的。重新框架，重新来思考我们这些新的面对的社会问题跟挑战。其实这里面可以找到新的机会，但最重要的是行动，而且希望能 connecting 或者是在这里。所以我们希望说透过这样的一个，也非常感谢主办单位张理事长这边，其实来把这个创造这样一个机会，让大家不管从亚洲和各地的朋友能开始在这论坛里面开始交流。我相信其实透过这样的举办，已经 inspire。非常多的，其实或许在这里，其实很多可能是同学、学生，可我相信在未来可能都成为这个非常重要的种子。好，我想再一次感谢这个大会的这次的举办，然后也谢谢这几位的师兄，谢谢。